Welcome to this edition of House of Preeminence and the G-Spot. The G-Spot stands for your genius, grace, and greatness. And you know that all my guests, all my contributors on the House of Preeminence are devoted to you living your highest life. That is such a challenging thing right now in this highly destabilizing global arena that we're living in. So I want to bring you something very special today, something that's going to dive very deep from just getting through the day-to-day stuff that we're dealing with all of the disruptions that everybody seems to be going through. Now, we are not strangers to the word energy in the House of Preeminence, on the contrary, but today I have a master of energy, and we're going to link it to one of our favorite topics, which is your desires, your dreams, your well-being, your thriving. It is my great honor to invite into the House of Preeminence a multiple New York Times best-selling author, speaker, trainer, connector, universal connector, teacher. She's been doing this a long time, although she is beautifully young and fresh. And I am absolutely delighted to welcome Christy Whitman.
Well, thank you for that, Jennifer. I'm so happy to be here. I've been working with these principles for 25 years and literally saw my life go from lack, struggle, total, just dissatisfaction in my life to literally every day just being in a place of gratitude and really appreciating the wonderful life that I have created. And if I can do that with a very, very seeped mind in scarcity and lack, everybody can do it. So I'm happy to be here with you.
I agree. So let's cheer humanity up today.
I love it.
Let's do it. It needs cheering up, because one of the things that I'm observing about the whole environmental conversation that's going on and the disruption is that even people who have done work on consciousness and they know about the law of attraction, even they are feeling disempowered or feeling disconnected, and completely forgotten that they're infinite creators. So tell us all about the quantum energy equation. Most people, a lot of people, especially our audience now, have heard of the phrase "everything is energy," but you talk about quantum energy. So share with us what is quantum energy.
Well, it's universal energy. It's everywhere. It's unending. It's the divine presence that creates everything. And when you think about everything is energy, that everything includes God itself, right? The divine. And when we can understand that everything is energy, whether it's a plant or a computer or a desk or a human being or a dog, everything here has a vibration. All vibration carries out waves to other vibration and collects it. That's what we know as law of attraction. But if we understand that if everything is energy, that means the manifested stuff that I can see. And as you look around your house or your room or your desk, your eyes go to the things that are manifested. And if you just switch your gaze, there's space between my nose and the computer. That all is still energy. This is the divine. It's like the divine is literally right here. And we're going, I feel so alone, when it's all around you. It is you. It is within you. And it's completely unlimited. It's infinite. And so that's quantum energy, is understanding that even though energy continues to go up higher as we get in higher dimensions and more purity of energy, like in a higher dimension of fifth or sixth dimension, the energy feels different than it does in the third dimension, because here we have gravity. We're on a planet. It's more dense, but still everything is energy. And we really, beyond understanding it from the mind, can live from that and understand that if everything is energy and you are like the planet where everything revolves around you in your life, if you're thinking that you're a victim in the sense that, well, this stuff is just happening to me, right? I know about everything is energy, but this stuff just keeps happening to me. Why do I keep struggling in this aspect? Why am I so sensitive, right? I hear that a lot of awakened people. I'm an empath, and so I just can't be around other people. And we've gotten to a point now, and that's what I'm grateful, because I'm a channel for the council, that the council brought in this wisdom that it's not about going, oh, I'm sensitive, I have to retract from the rest of the world, or I can't be around people. That it's about mastering our own energy. Because if everything is energy, including us, we're both physical and non-physical, but that part of us that's breathing, that's beating our hearts, none of us are having to beat our own hearts. We can affect the heartbeat by if we work out, but we can't literally beat our own hearts. And that energy, that life force that's inside of us is also outside of us. It's unlimited, it's quantum. And so when we understand that we are connected, never separated from that field, and that all we need to do is ask, and that energy is provided for us, we just have to receive it, because we are energy receivers if we allow ourselves to do that. Most people are not allowing themselves. So we're energy receivers. We're actually energy containers. Most of us don't even contain our own energy. We bring it in and send it out, right? And most of us are depleted, right? Trying to chase energy, get energy. So let me try to get, another soda in, or a coffee, or, something to try to get more energy, looking outside of ourselves to think that that's my source to get more energy. Your source is there. It's like a treasure chest above your head that never gets stolen from. Nobody can borrow from it. It never gets depleted. It's always there. And when we understand that treasure chest that is literally like pure gold and rubies and diamonds and all the beautiful jewels that you could ever, because we could go, hey, I want to feel joy today. And it's a matter of just literally letting ourselves be filled with the energy of joy. And when we feel that we're not in joy, or we get knocked off, we go right back to the source of feeling that. So quantum energy is unlimited, pure potential energy that exists for each and every one of us, because if we're alive, it exists for us.
And this has actually been proven by science and fabulous thought leaders like Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza and all of these guys who talk about it in in scientific terms. So we know that this world that seems to be spiritual and this physical world are just colliding at the moment. But kind of not enough people know, or not enough people. Maybe not enough people believe it. They want to know it, and they don't believe it. Because I agree. I have a lot of very switched on, tuned in friends who say, no, I don't do parties. I can't take people's energy. I'll just take, I'm. Yeah. It's a very common thing if you are sensitive to that.
So here's the thing. If you are sensitive to that, I've been sensitive to that all my life. What now has changed for me since channeling the council and bringing this information through, and we do a course together and all this, on quantum energy mastery, but it's really connecting with the understanding that, wait, instead of being able to pick up on other people's energy, so now it affects me and I feel tired. If I'm connected to that unlimited stream, and I could literally fill my entire energetic container with the energy of love, right? And I'm walking around like a big, huge energetic bubble of love, I'm going to draw things and people and situations and butterflies and rainbows. I mean, literally to me, because that's what I'm radiating out. And those that are vibrating at a much lower level, they're going to look at that and go, oh, I don't want to go around her. Right. She's so it's like it deflects off a lot of the negative energy. And plus, as the council says, higher vibration always wins. So if you're walking around like a big love bubble, just in complete appreciation, gratitude for your life and all that's in it. And sometimes we have to start with the fact that, I'm alive right now. I have air in my lungs. I am healthy, starting with I have water to drink. I have a bed to sleep on. starting with the very basic things that we a lot of times take for granted because we might get in our own heads about a certain situation or problem that we're having, or we're hearing about all the things in the world. And then we get global and think about, oh my God, the sky is falling, Chicken Little, right? If we bring it back to the very breath and the fact that we can be grateful for our breath and find moments of quiet time just to connect with that divine partner, to be able to feel divine energy moving through you. When you take the moments throughout the day to fill yourself up with that, you're now energetically on a really nice momentum and wavelength, and you're not affected by people as much. This became so clear to me one day, and it was around the time when we had lockdown in 2020. And I went to go bring food to my mom and dad. Now, my mom and dad have always had a very dysfunctional, very, abusive verbally relationship. And that's one thing that I'm most grateful for, is that I have not created that, in my family, and my kids don't have to be raised with that. So I'm bringing them food. And as soon as she opens the door, she's yelling at my dad. So all this like spewing of negative energy is coming at me. And I'm thinking, I am not going to be here long. I'm going to drop and go. Right. So I come in and they're arguing with each other. And instead of feeling like, getting upset, I just went and sat down at the table, and I let myself feel compassion for myself, compassion that I had to, as a child, watch that, compassion that now as an adult, I have to watch my parents talk to each other like that. Just having compassion for the fact that they have that kind of relationship, and a compassion for each other. And all of a sudden I felt that energy of compassion come through me. And then I was able to find love, and I was able to find gratitude. And I got to a place where I was like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful my husband and I get along so well, and that we've worked on our relationship, and that we're willing to roll up the sleeves, and that we're willing to be conscious, and, and that the family that we've created. And I'm just sitting there in this big bubble of love. And all of a sudden they stopped arguing. They both came and sat down at the table, and we had the most lovely visit. I was there for over an hour, talking and laughing and sharing. And when I got back in the car, the counsel said to me, do you see how you influenced instead of being influenced by? And we all have that ability to do that. And it's a matter of practice. It's a matter of skill set, but we all have the ability to work with energy, to tap into the energy, and to shift whatever energy, whether it's our relationship with money, we can shift that energy and transmute that energy, whether it's in our businesses and going to the next level, anything that we desire, anything that we're dreaming about, anything that we've been wanting, but we're telling ourselves we can't have, or it's not right to have, or, or that who are we to have. We can work with energy to manifest what our divine design is. And that is well-being. Our bodies naturally know what to do to keep us in well-being. And when it gets out of alignment and it starts to have malfunctions of whatever, it could be hormones, it could be pain, physical pain in the body, it could be actual diseases that someone has said, oh, you now have this. And, the body itself knows how to be in alignment with pure light, pure well-being. But if it gets dysfunctional, it's because there's stuck energy. So energy really is everything, because if there is dysfunction in the body, it's because there hasn't been the energy that's been processed. Because energy is so powerful, it could create an appendix rupture. I've seen that, right? It could cause cancer in people. It could do a lot of different things. But when you return back to the natural state of alignment with your well-being, all of it goes away. I've witnessed women that have had lifetime migraines, no more. Their lives are different. They don't even have to plan for a migraine if they've ever had migraines before, right? It's like, it's life-changing when all of a sudden that goes away. Or fibromyalgia, or chronic pain, or chronic digestion issues. All of these things come back when you come back in alignment and you process out that old stuck energy that must manifest. Energy must manifest. It must continue to move, and it creates because it's creative. But when it's coming through us, we're the ones that direct the energy flow. So if we're thinking negative thoughts, or if we're in hurt or resentment, right, that flow of powerful energy is going towards what we don't want, getting us out of alignment with our natural well-being, with our natural abundance, with our natural success, and our natural love. And so when we get back in alignment with that energy, then we feel good and we're radiating that out. And then as it becomes more and more consistent, you know, I've been doing this work for 25 years on myself, 20 years with other people. And it's those that are consistent and understand that everything really is energy, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And that nobody can create in your reality. That we are the ones, we're creating by the energy we send out. We're energy receivers, containers, and transmitters. And we transmit out by the words that we say, the thoughts that we think, the perspectives or the beliefs that we hold, the feelings. This is where emotional intelligence and working with feelings and all that is just so important, such cutting edge, important work. And then the actions that we take, that's our consciousness. And we can't create in somebody else's consciousness, nor can they create in our consciousness. And even when something is going on in the world where I see people every day right now freaking out, afraid, because everywhere they turn, there's bad news, right? And then you have other people that are, you know, in the realm that we're in that apply this information. And I literally just send light to all of it. I send light to all of it. And remarkable things have happened. A couple of years ago, we moved a hurricane that was headed up the coast to the East Coast, and it literally pivoted and went into the ocean. Within moments after, we directed the energy to go into the ocean and not up the coast of the United States. So, I mean, light is so powerful, and we are so powerful when we play with light and direct it towards good and direct it towards alignment of what we want to create and what's for the betterment of others and all of that, because we are the center of our universe. We create and change circumstances and situations and events and relationships. We literally have an effect on all of it. All relationships start inside of us first. It looks like, oh, that person did something and then I reacted. It's actually the reaction wouldn't be there if there wasn't an imprint. The traction of that wouldn't be there if there wasn't that imprint that then causes a reaction. We get to take that information, as counsel would say, the gifts, right? These are gifts that we are experiencing. And the gift really is that we get freedom on the other side, right? When contrast happens, I say to the counsel, great, here's a gift. I'd rather have a pair of earrings or something, or a diamond necklace, or, you know, something more fun than that. But the gift really is the energy of freedom on the other side, when you can come back in alignment and understand that working with energy is actually, people have been talking about it for centuries. It's meditating. The very basis of daily practice of just getting quiet. And you don't have to meditate for hours and hours and hours. Even if you just use your meditation time to connect with the frequency and the energy, kind of like the image the counsel gives sometimes is like, you know, when you go up to a vending machine, it's got a lot of different selections and you get to put your money in and you choose the selection, right? It's like, think of the energy field like that. It's like you get to go to the vending machine, go, today I'd like to feel success. And then just let yourself feel the energy, because as soon as you ask for it, it's there. We just have to get in the receiving mode of it. So most people need more training on how to allow, how to receive, how to surrender, right? So that you can already feel and connect with what is already there and present, so that you can change whatever it is that you want in your life, so that you really are a conscious creator. You're the deliberate creator of your own life experience, because you're choosing first the energy that you want to feel.
Yeah. Hallelujah, sister. This is just what needed to be said. So, you know, people, even people who are used to doing this work can struggle with this part the getting quiet, when that moment when you sat down and first of all you just went into surrender and then compassion. It's this connection. Talk us through a connection, because for example, when you're vexed, worried, unclear, you need some clarity on something, you need some direction, you're okay, I'm just gonna sit down, go within, and then you sit there for a while and then you go, nothing. Just like, nah, nothing coming through, just like
I'm waiting.
No, because I've done it myself. It's like, I think I need some clarity. I'm just going to sit down and like I'm sure it's going to come, and it's like, hello.
Here's the brilliance of this, and I'm so grateful for the council for bringing this in my life, because I too many times am like, I need the answer. Where is it? When's it coming? How long do I have to wait? So now I can't really trust you because I don't have the answer, and then it becomes this whole thing of, are you even there? And then faith gets shattered and faith gets, torn apart kind of thing. So I understand that. What never, ever, I think a lot of people, including myself, used to look for a sign or give me the answer as if it would come in blocks of sentences and would be on like a whiteboard, all, spelled out for me. And the divine doesn't work that way. It can't. It has to work through us in order to do that. But how it works through us is through energy. So when, for example, you're saying you're confused, right? You're in the place of, you're in a state of not feeling good, which I always call as a state of lack of some perspective. You got your consciousness, words, thoughts, perspective, emotions, and actions. What behaviors you've got some form of your consciousness that's stuck in lack, and it's causing a negative experience. So it might be confusion, so you don't have the lack of clarity. You have the lack of clarity. It might be you're in fear. It might be that you're worried, right? Whatever the state of being might be for any situation that we have in our lives, when you can look at it and say, okay, what is it that I'm perceiving that I'm lacking? Right? It could be support, right? It could be support in your business. It could be support in your family, whatever it may be. When you're like, I just don't have enough support. Well, there's the clarity, right? What I want is support. What would support feel like energetically? If I was supported in all aspects of my life, and I did this, right? I literally had a moment where I had this awareness where I'm like, I don't feel supported, and my back went out. In my back, and knowing what I know about the body and the way it communicates what energy we're holding, I didn't do anything, and all of a sudden my back went out. So I had to sit there and go, okay, I know that my lower back represents support, sometimes financially, but otherwise too. And so I went, where do I not feel supported? And my mind wants to go, well, he doesn't support you and she doesn't support you and you're not supported there, and wants to make up all these stories so that you then get mad at all the people and you think, oh, let me just get rid of all the people. And then like all these other people come in and they're not supporting you either. Why? Not because you don't deserve to be supported. It's because you are in lack. You don't have an energetic connection to the frequency of support, or the energetic frequency of well-being or abundance or success or love or clarity or whatever it may be. It could be sensuality, right? When you are in knowing you are lacking in something, and you can say, what is it that I'm wanting? I'm wanting support. Let yourself then feel what it feels like to be fulfilled with support. And I did this in having that moment with my back and thinking of all the ways I was not supported. So I started cultivating that energy of support. I will tell you, I am more supported now. I didn't get a different husband. It's the same husband, but he shows up to support me in ways that I never even could have dreamed or imagined. The people on my team, I have the most amazing team that supports this light work, and they really support. But I had to cultivate that energetic feeling of knowing energetically, whether you call it God, goddess, Susie, energy, creator, infinite intelligence, it's all one. And I know that when I ask that energy, as long as I'm opening up to it, I could feel the energy of sensuality. I could feel the energy of support, of love. It's like that vending machine. I'm the chooser. It's all available to all of us that are in this physical body, on this physical plane. Energy is how we connect with the divine. When I am in that place of feeling so fulfilled, whether it is in love or freedom or success, that's when I know the divine is with me, because the divine is the energy. I'm not in a feeling of being in lack or separation of any kind, because I'm fulfilled in the energy. And one last thing I want to say about this, we are, as human beings, we have to take care of our physical bodies in many different ways, whether it's once a night we go to sleep, right? We wake up in the morning and all day long we eliminate, right? We drink all day long. We refresh ourselves with something to drink. We eat, we fuel our bodies, right? We do a number of things just to maintain our physical body. And what I wish I would have learned when I was a kid is that we also need to tend to our own energy, because it's just as important, if not more important, than tending to the physical body, because our energy is what goes ahead of us and creates and pulls and manifests and literally has things that are in the physical form literally get magnetized into our experience. It's from our energy. You could have two different people that have the same skills, the same attributes, the same schooling, the same experience, and one has an amazing positive attitude and the other one has a negative attitude. What's going to be more attractive to someone that is looking for someone that does this, or is looking for this partner, or is looking, the universe in itself is attracted and attracts things to the light and repels things from the dark. And it happens with people that we like or don't, and clients that we want. It happens with money. Money is repelled from dark and it is attracted to light.
Well, I just had a brilliant download while you were talking of doing a daily energy workout. As I'm such a fitness and wellness junkie, and there are all sorts of protocols in the day, as you said. My day is filled with protocols about looking after this physical vessel.
Yes.
But to actually habituate that, and to actually bring it into your routine deliberately and consciously, and not wait until we feel irritated or there's a crisis or something, would be amazing. I mean,
yes,
paradigm shifting.
It is. Things absolutely change. A couple of years ago, and this was my MO, I was always telling myself for some reason I was tired. And a lot of women do that. Like, I'm just so tired. I'm exhausted. And we say this over and over and over again until we actually, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? We are tired, so we say it. And then what would happen was I felt like, oh, I'm so tired and I've got that meeting. I got to get myself up. So I'm going to go get another cup of coffee, or I'm going to eat a piece of chocolate, or, at some points in my earlier days, I would drink a Red Bull, just to get myself awake. Right. And it's amazing to me, because when I started channeling the council and they brought this information, I remember about to walk into a grocery store, and I heard myself say, I'm tired. And it was like, stop. I literally stopped myself and I went, I am energized. I am full of vitality. And I just let myself, as I was continuing to walk into the grocery store, I let myself be filled with that feeling of just having so much energy and so much vitality. And I was there and I'm like, I don't even want a coffee. And I turned back around and I left, because I felt like I'm fulfilled here. I'm good. And I literally stopped drinking coffee. I don't drink caffeine anymore, because it's like, I don't need to. I'm fulfilled by that energy that's always there for me. And it's exactly what you said. When you connect yourself throughout the day, like maybe it's every time you go drink something, you also connect with your energy, or maybe every time you go eliminate, you connect with your energy. It's not something that has to be done once a day, but as you're sitting at a stop sign or stoplight, you can literally, it becomes that quick and that easy to fill yourself up with light. with the energy that you want to experience, the feeling of success, right? Before you go into all those meetings, fill your energy field up with that success. And that way you are steady all day long. And even when someone that is not in alignment might come along and you're in this great space, it's like Teflon, it just bounces off, right? And if it does seep in, right, you can then process your energy. That's the energy mastery part. I have so many stories of how I literally someone said something, like someone verbally attacked me. It was a stranger in a parking lot. And she was driving her Camaro, and it was very aggressive, like through the parking lot, and came right next to me. And I must have looked like shocked because it was pretty aggressive. And I was also scared that she was going to hit me. So she jumped out of her car without even putting it in park and started screaming profanities at me, asking me, with more choice words, what the hell's my problem? And I'm like, my amygdala I just was like, where am I? What just happened? Like, I couldn't even respond. And after, I felt this enormous sense of anger, right? And what normally would happen is I would go then into judging her, right? What the hell's wrong with her? And it makes up stories about her, and talk to my friends about her, what this person just did to me. And, the kind of from that victim perspective. And I realized, I went, okay, this anger is mine, right? So I process the anger. It takes about 90 seconds to actually process an emotion. I process the anger, let it go. And then I let myself feel compassion for myself that I just had that experience. Compassion for myself that, wait a minute, even we all create our own realities, and we're always attracting everything to our reality. So compassion for that self that felt that you needed a little bit of drama in your life, or whatever reason you're attracting that. Compassion for that part of me. And then I just started feeling compassion for her, because I'm like, wow, she must have really had a bad day, or something must be not going right in her life. And she's, clearly not in a good place. So compassion and love to her. And now it's like I'm being an influencer again of love and light, instead of being, and how could that happen to me? And why, the whole theatrics of it, because we could easily go into the stories and to do that. But as you master your energy in these ways, when you understand that events in the world, situations are going to happen. But if you know how to master yourself, process the energy, sometimes it takes a few times if something's upsetting you, or a really big, thing. If you process your energy, you always can return back to that state of joy and that state of freedom. And that's and like literally thriving in your life and feeling good.
I can feel it as you're talking. So maybe the counselor dropping in.
Yes, they're always here with me.
Tell us who they are, and how they discovered you, how you discovered them.
Sure. So let me start with that. So I have been working with channeled teachers. It was just something when I had my conscious awakening 25 years ago and started learning about universal laws and meditation and all these things, my teachers channeled. So I literally went from not knowing it to knowing it, what channeling was. And so for me, my perspective, I would watch someone that was in front of me have a different voice or bring through different information, or sometimes they would close their eyes or open their eyes. But the energy, I could sense there was something different. It's like someone took the spirit of that person in that person's body and put in a different one. And that's really what it's like, right? It's a consciousness, it's an energy. So for years, I've been channeling, in the sense that my first book that came through 20 years ago, that was channeled, right? All of my books that have come through me, including my latest one, The Desire Factor, was channeled. What's different now is that I'm full person channeling. I went through an evolution of hearing, seeing, feeling information. And when I would, as a coach, or even as a healer, an energy healer, when I would help someone just received that information, amazing things were happening, and it was what they needed to hear. Or my hands would go up, without me putting them up, and I was trying to put them down and they wouldn't go down. And the person on the other end that couldn't see me, because it was through, phone at that point, this is years ago, could feel my hands on her without me saying, my hands just went on you. And she said, are your hands on my neck? And that's exactly where they were. I'm like, that's where they are. And I can't put them down. And then my hands would get all fiery. So this has been an involvement, but we're going on the anniversary, September 17th, 2018. I was in a healing group with a bunch of women that I was doing every Monday, because I heard them give me that assignment to create this healing space. And all of a sudden, my consciousness went out of my body. And it's never been like this since, which is interesting, because for the first time, my consciousness, I could have sworn that my body was flung over the chair. I thought my whole entire body was flung over, and I could hear them. And then I could also sense what was happening, like, in my body. And after they were left, and I came back in, I was crying, and the ladies were crying, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And anytime I ask them to come in, they're there now. But now the difference is there's such a relationship and a connection and trust that I just fully go out and they come in and take over. And they are ascended masters. They're some of the highest consciousness that is coming through channels right now. They are here literally not to talk. And they, of course, they can answer questions about what happens on the other side and stuff like that. But they're interested in helping us, the humans that are here, that have chosen to be here, how to master our lives and how to enjoy our lives. And so everything they teach is about energy mastery and about releasing imprints. And they don't just provide information. They see someone holographically, and it's actually, Jennifer, it's like astonishing because I get the before and after, right? And the person tells me, oh my God, they knew something that no one has ever known. I've never told someone, right? So they'll say to the person when they're doing a hologram scan of them, when you're 4 years old, this imprint happened. And then they'll help them release the imprint so that they're free of those places where the energy gets stuck. And it's always just spot on. And clients will come to me and go, oh my God, they knew when I was 6 years old, when we moved from, one part of the country to the other part of the country. Oh my gosh, they knew when I was 2, my parents got a divorce. They've like, what, it's because they could see it in the hologram. They could see that there's an imprint there. And so it's really amazing to see people heal and shift. And I just feel very blessed and very grateful that I get to channel them.
Such beautiful work that needs that the planet needs right now. I mean, so many people need this work. They really
agreed.
Do. And children, as you said, if we can put this somehow into lower education, so that children are empowered to start this work earlier. Oh my goodness, then what dreams for the world may come.
Yes.
I would love to just pick up on something that I saw from your website that's particular of interest to me, which is staying as young, vibrant, vital as you can for as long as you can, mind, body, and soul. So I read something on your website that the quantum energy mastery is the fountain of youth.
Yes.
whenever the words fountain of youth comes up, I'm like, my ears start to plug.
Yes, it is, because when you think about it, right, energy, light is it refreshes, it revitalizes, right? When you're in alignment with the divine light, there's no thought process, there's no consciousness or awareness of sickness or disease or stress or any of those things that pull us down. And when you can literally be I've seen people that have gone in a session with the council where I go in and then I come back out and I'm like their eyes are clearer, their smile looks brighter, they look like the worry lines go away, and they literally look like they get a facelift. I mean, so many of my clients literally have had people ask them, have you had work done? And they look younger, and it's just amazing to watch that. I have one woman that went and saw me in Scottsdale. I did a small little healing event in Scottsdale, Arizona. And she's been working with the council, weekly and consistently. And someone showed me a picture of her, and it had been a year, and she looked 20 years older from the earlier picture. She looked 20 years younger. And like even the clothes she was wearing, she was all in gray and it was black, and her hair, it was like, now she was like, her hair was like more thick, and and her smile and her skin, and it is the fountain of youth, because there's nothing more revitalizing. It is constant well-being. It's always pure. And so we can literally go until the day that we decide to transition without taking a pill, right? Without having to do any of that, if we don't buy into the imprints of society even, right? I've had personal trainers. I remember when I was 40, I had a personal trainer, and I had just turned 40 or something like that. And I remember I just turned 40. And he said to me, he goes, well, now everything's going to go downhill. You're going to have to work harder, because now it's going to be even more gravity. And now your hormones are going to da. And I'm like, you're a trainer. Like, why would you try to imprint that into me? Because now if you say that, right? And doctors do that all the time, because that's what they have to let us know about, because, it's around this time that you start losing your eyesight. And you're like, my eyesight's fine. Imprint. Oh, look at that. He was right. My eyesight went around 40 years old, right? It's like, it happens that easy. It happens that quick when we are so open to other people's suggestions and don't realize that we literally are the complete channel, the complete container for light to transmit through us. And we get to benefit in the way we feel, in the way we look, in the way we act, in all those aspects, and what we get to experience, right? Because we're not using, oh, you're too old, or you're this age, or, as an excuse. We just let light keep shining, health and well-being, and keep moving in the direction of feeling good.
So we are containers, we are receivers, we're transmitters all the time, 24/7.
All the time.
24/7.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So that was just a delight, Christy. And I'd love to ask you one more question that I always ask my guests, and I never warn them about it. If you went to the top of the Empire State Building and you had a megaphone, and you had some, president said, right, you've got 1 minute, 2 minutes to say something to humanity, like right now, the whole of humanity can hear you. What would be your message? What would be your most important right now message in this moment? Everything
is energy, and that we are deliberate. We are creators of our own life experience, and that nothing is happening to you. You're attracting everything. And so return to the light, return to the energy, decide more of what you want, why you want it, and how you want to feel, and connect with that feeling on a consistent basis, and you'll see your life change. Beautiful. That was the best energy workout ever. Thank you. So, wonderful. We are going to share all of your links to your resources, and how people can contact you, how they can work with you. What kind of ways do you offer for people to work with you, Christy? Online, probably, because that's the most practical at the moment. I've been actually doing online work for 15 years. So my business has always been primarily online. But yes, I do a course that the council created. I teach, and they also do Q&A called Quantum Energy Mastery. We do monthly meditation series on certain subjects. They could do one-on-one sessions with them. We also have group stuff where there's like 10 or less people in a group where you can just get energy work done every week. Everything's online. So yeah, there's lots of different options on the menu.
And your books. And the last one is the desire factor.
Yes, so this is the desire factor. I just love it. The energy in this book is just palpable. It's such a guide for and then this is the one that was channeled, deliberately with the council. And so this desire factor is literally a step-by-step approach to manifesting what you want. And in the exact order. A lot of times people have pieces of the puzzle, but they put them in the wrong place. And this is when they downloaded this and said, no, it's got to be in this exact order. Too many people are taking out of order the manifestation formula. I'm really excited about it. So it's brilliant.
Well, that's going on my immediate reading list, because I'm also very connected to people's desires. Really, I'm viscerally connected to people's desires. It's something that I've been channeling is I feel people's desires. It's in my DNA. It's in my energy. So that one I can't learn and talk enough about desires. I think so this has been illuminating and uplifting and exactly what we need right now. And so no more victimhood and no more thinking that you can't control what's going on around you. You are the creator. So thank you to the beautiful Christy Whitman for this gorgeous conversation with the presence of the council. I'm sure we're going to bring you back and do some more work. It's been an absolute delight, Christy.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate you so much.